right, thank you. Welcome, council members. President Buitendijk, how would you like to handle this? Do you want to start the evening off, or do you want me to just launch right into the state of the city? You're muted, Mike. There you are.
There we go. Let me just say, this is the annual State of the City address by our Honorable Mayor, Robert Breneman. This is required under the charter, or it might be an ordinance. I can't remember. It's been too long. Anyways, we are pleased to have you and look forward to your remarks. And with that, I'll turn the floor over to you. All
right. Thank you, President Buitendijk, and nice to see all council members here and the administrative team as part of us. And I'll start off by saying thanks to my team. They helped me gather information for this talk, and Jonathan Millay works his magic on these slides, because I could definitely not make him look near as nice as what he does. So thank you, Jonathan, for all your help and expertise there. And John Scavelli and Jonathan are helping with the presentation tonight. Once I launch into it, we'll be going to a bunch of slides I found over time that they seem to work best in trying to help people see the picture and understand. So we'll launch right into it. I think it will only be about a 40-minute presentation, and Scavelli and Jonathan are helping with the presentation tonight. Once I launch into it, we'll be going to a bunch of slides I found over time that they seem to work best in trying to help people see the picture and understand. So we'll launch right into it. I think it will only be about a 40-minute presentation, and Scavelli and Jonathan are helping with the
We've got some
tonight.
feedback.
Once I launch into it, we'll be going to a bunch of slides I found over time that they seem to work best in trying to help people see the picture and understand. So we'll launch right into it. I think it will only be about a 40-minute presentation, and Scavelli and Jonathan are helping with the
We've got some feedback.
Once I launch into it, we'll be going to a bunch of slides I found over time.
Pardon me 1 minute here. Let me see if I can help.
And trying to help people. There you go.
There we go.
Thank you, Jonathan. So everybody good to go? We will launch into it then. So greetings, City Council and community members, and thank you for the privilege of to present my view of the state of our city. I've always felt that this yearly presentation must reflect on our collective accomplishments as a community, but also our challenges over the past year. 2020 was a year that definitely had both of these, which we will talk about in a few minutes. So as a play on words of the biographical novel about Michelangelo, the picture above and this address could be called The Ecstasy and the Agony. Ecstasy because the 2020 year started off amazingly good, and with a strong economy and purchase of the 5L farm for economic development. But the rest of the year was different, and that started by mid-March, and I call it the agony. The COVID virus crept into our world, and the rest of the year was turmoil caused by it. But I've learned over the years of doing this presentation that people are interested in hearing about the direction we are heading and the goals we are looking to achieve, and then enjoying our accomplishments. So we'll start with that, what we are looking to achieve in the 2021 year. These are the city goals that myself and my administration have put together to challenge us to move forward. We have 10 community goals that our city team will be working to achieve or get started this year. As in past years, most are the goals we plan to accomplish this year, but some will take multiple years to finish. So here is our 2021 plan. I'll go through them one at a time and explain. Goal number 1, downtown Southwest Quad Streetscape. Our first goal is a happy one for us here at City Hall. This is the final step of a multi-year plan to fix and renew the streetscape around the square of downtown Worcester. The Southwest Quad, with the statue, PNC Bank, Everything Rubbermaid store, and the gift corner, will be getting its facelift starting this spring with a completion date of September 30th, 2021. Total cost is approximately $900,000 to make this happen. Goal number 2 is Fire Station 1 plans and engineering. Goal 2 was first introduced last year. We have been meeting internally to determine what is needed to bring this 1961 era fire station up to the community needs of today. Good news is the station is in the right spot from a safety response view, and the building is still in good physical shape. But wiring, technology, room layouts, equipment stacking and storage, etc., have changed dramatically in 60 years. We have budgeted $250,000 this year for engineering and architectural plans. We plan to construct in 2022 with an estimated cost of approximately $3 million. Goal number 3 is Melrose Drive reconstruction. We will be working on planning, engineering, and right-of-ways in 2021 for improving Melrose Drive from Milltown Road to Smithville Western Road. Construction is planned for 2022 to 2023. They think it will take a couple years to get that stretch of road done. Plans include extending the multi-purpose trail on one side of the road and have curbs, gutters, and a sidewalk on the other side. A nice improvement to this busy north-south road. Goal number 4, connecting the loop. We've been working on improving our connectivity since November of 2014. This goal was derived from our city's 10-year comprehensive plan. This picture on the left is the Portage Road connector, which was completed in 2020. For 2021, we have applied for a Transportation Alternatives Program grant through the state. This would be a connector trail along Milltown Road from Melrose to Friendsville roads. If received, this would complete the third side of our loop around Worcester. We should know if we receive this grant by May of this year. Goal number 5, Worcester Innovation Park. This goal is and has been planned as a multi-year challenge and was first mentioned in my 2016 State of the City report. We believe that having vacant land for the purpose of attracting and expanding of businesses is the responsible way to keep our city growing. The city purchased a 150-acre 5L farm on February 18th, 2020, just about a year ago, which is adjacent to Daisy Brand and Worcester Innovation Park off of Old Airport Road, Daisy Way, and Guyers Chapel Road. We have been marketing this land for industrial growth since purchasing it. We are pleased that we've already had a few interested parties considering this site. Goal number 6, housing in Worcester. Our city has been wrestling with the housing dilemma for the last 3 years. This graph paints the picture. The blue line shows single-family housing starts from 1999 to 2020, a period of 22 years. You can see it was approximately 60 houses per year built in 1999, then jumped over up to over 100 per year in 2004, then dropped to around 10 in 2009, and floated in the 10 to 20 range for the next 11 years. The multifamily housing is about the same except to stronger extremes. The economy was good up till the recession starting in October of 2008. So why did the housing starts fall so dramatically from 2004 to 2006? 2 years before the recession? Why didn't it come back after the recession let up in 2012 to 2013? Why do housing developers today need public incentives to build housing when 20 years ago they were never incentivized? Is it the city's responsibility to use taxpayer dollars to help developers create new homes? These are questions we, the city administration, council, and the public have been wrestling with. Goal number 7, Oak Hill Road improvements. This is the intersection of Oldman Road and Oak Hill. Worcester High School, Keene, and Ida Sioux schools are to the right, and Oak Hill Park is to the left. Because of the growth of the area surrounding this section of roadway, traffic has grown steadily over the years. It is now time to think about how to help traffic congestion during the busy times of the week on Oak Hill, and especially the intersections at Oldman Road when schools start and let out each day, and Milltown Road when schools let out and on weekends. This intersection shown, which is in the city, and the Milltown Road intersection, which is in the county, both need to be addressed. With the success of the new roundabouts, we believe these are the best solution to both intersections. Unfortunately, these improvements carry a big price tag of about $3 million per intersection, or a total cost of approximately $7 million overall with roadway included. We are having discussions with the county on these improvements and their timing. Goal number 8, connect West Side neighborhoods and parks. Our city team and a bike trail steering committee that we formed in 2014, which has evolved into a group called Wayne Trails, have been working to get multi-purpose trails throughout our city and get connected to trails surrounding Worcester. We have made great strides in getting these trails throughout our city and connected to the statewide trails in Fredericksburg and the US Bike Route 40, which actually comes into our town. But one section of Worcester stands out as needing attention. This is the west side of our town, which contains 3 major city parks: Oak Hill, Christmas Run, and Clear Creek, which is under construction, a nature preserve, Walton Woods, and a large portion of Worcester's residential population. This goal is to establish the best route to serve this area, then set a timeline to establish funding and ultimately construct this trail. This goal will take multiple years to achieve, but it will complement and complete a citywide trail system. On the picture in front of you right now, you notice there were three proposed trails. We are going to just struggle with trying to figure out which is the right one to put down. So that gives you an idea of 3 different routes that could serve these parks. Goal number 9, Christmas Run pool planning. You saw this goal for the first time in last year's State of the City. We found a problem with the liner in Christmas Run Pool, which was installed in 1975. The liner is stainless steel. The problem is the support brackets attached to the liner, or attaching the liner to the original pool wall, are not stainless, but regular steel that rusts, which they have, causing the liner panels to buckle. We fixed the problems that were ready. We fixed the problem and we're ready to open in the 2020 season. But because of COVID, we could only open Freelander Pool and Knights Field Spray Ground. Time is ticking on how long our fix will last, maybe 5 years. The background, the pool was built in 1948, the liner installed in 1975, bathhouse was renovated in 2003. Remember, it's a box of water used for 2.5 months per year. It does carry a heavy usage by daycares and camps during the week, though. So we have really 3 options. Option 1, replace the back brackets with stainless steel, which may last 15 plus years. It will cost approximately $800,000 to do that. Option 2, replace with a new pool with today's fun items and systems. This cost is approximately $2.5 million. Or option 3, demolish the pool and turn it into parkland at a cost of approximately $100,000. The reality is Worcester is overpooled with water features for the geographic location that we're in, interest in pools, and the size of our community. Christmas Run does serve a purpose though. It is located in the center of town. It is walkable from many of our neighborhoods, and it has a strong allegiance from its patrons who raised $100,000 to keep it open back in 2010. Admin and council will be looking for answers to the best direction to head with this facility. And our last goal, goal 10, the community center addition. Our final goal we have identified, you've seen since my State of the City in 2017. This is the improvement of Worcester's Community Center located just east of the post office. The community center was built 45 years ago in 1976 using community funds and a federal grant. The building itself is in good shape and has had different remodeling projects over the years. Its main focus was the senior population and sorry, I looked up and lost my place. The senior population and young children. As we've researched community centers around the state, we believe ours is in the right location to serve Worcester and can be a facility that will continue to serve its original focus, but can be expanded to serve much more. With City Council's buy-in and approval, we have been working to make this happen. We've had architectural drawings of what could go in the space surrounding the current center. We've been systematically acquiring land for expansion, researched and toured many other community centers around the state, and have been putting together lists of what features and functions an expanded center should have, what things would cost to include in an expansion, and what partners we could work with, and any outside resources we can attract to help make this expansion happen. COVID has slowed the progress down this past year on this goal, but the plan is still moving forward. We will still be on our goal. This will still be on our goal list for a few more years. So those are the 10 goals that we've set as an administrative team to work on in the years of 2021. Now we turn to the finances. How do we make these kind of things happen? This look is provided by our finance team here at the city. Our city finances are still good even through a tough COVID year. Our finance team predicted at the start of the virus having income being down approximately 5%. As you see, it came in better at being down only 4.2%, due in part to our city's diverse manufacturing base safety net. Some businesses this past year were up while others were down, but they gave a pretty solid footing for the city to keep moving forward. The bigger impact was that of our expenses came in 11.9% less than planned due to two main reasons. Our city team watching the bottom line and controlling spending, and the state and federal funds from the CARES Act forgivable funding that happened in a couple tranches through last year. Also good news, we refinanced some of our debt to lower interest rates. We requested agencies to give our city's financial rating going into the refinancing, and Moody's on May 7th, approximately 1 month into the virus, kept our AA2 rating even as other cities' ratings dropped due to the COVID scare. This saved Worcester about $1.2 million by decreasing our general obligation bond debt by approximately 13%. Here's a tried and true graph giving a quick reference to city finances. I've been using it in my State of the City addresses since 2017. It is meant to show how our city has fared since the loss of local government funding and estate taxes back in 2013, and the replacement funds that were essential passed with the vote in 2013, but took effect in January of 2014. I think you will agree that we are in a much better place due to the increase. Another quick graph showing city expenditures over time. See how lean we got in 2011 to 2013? You can see we got back to taking care of our city's needs once the levy passed in May of 2013. Notice taking the proactive steps to preserve funding once COVID hit in March 2020, holding back less essential spending until seeing how the economy was trending and the CARES Act funding. This last financial graph helps tell the story. This is the capital spending for the long-term needs of our community. Notice the box around the years 2010 to 2013. The Great Recession hit on October 2008. Because the city's main funding source is income taxes, we lagged behind other parts of the economy in when it impacted our funds. Our leanest years were 2010 to 13 due to the loss of local government funding, tangible personal property taxes, and elimination of the Ohio estate tax. Notice the capital investments into our community starting in 2014 forward. Also, please notice 2021 spending levels are lower. This is mainly due to the uncertainty caused by the COVID virus. We start planning our yearly city budgets during the summers of each year, fine-tune them through our admin team during the early fall, and present the proposed city budget to council by the second council meeting in November, leaving city council 3 readings to review so that it can be enacted before the end of each year. Because the COVID impact was unknown during the creation of the 2021 budget, we were cautious with the projects we planned due to the fact our income stream might be adversely affected. This final slide about finances is to give kudos to our finance team. Our finance team received their 39th GFOA Certificate of Achievement in 2020. This award is from the Government Finance Officers Association, which was founded in 1906 and represents public finance officials throughout the United States and Canada. The GFOA represents over 20,000 members, and its mission is to advance excellence in public finance. Worcester received its first GFOA award in 1981 under Finance Director Jim Pyers, and has continued throughout our current Finance Director, Andre Dordia's direction since 2004. This is solid outside verification that our finance team provides excellent service to our city. Thank you, Andre and team. Here's a picture representing our police, Worcester Police Department. Police departments across the nation came under scrutiny in 2020 due to the actions of other, mainly large city police force actions. Our city and the Worcester Police Department do not agree with nor support some of the egregious actions that a few police officers around the United States took in performing their jobs in 2020. But we also disagree with members of our community who try to paint our local police team with the same brush as major city police departments. I am proud of the 40+ sworn police officers under the direction of Police Chief Matt Fisher and Assistant Chief Scott Rotolo's leadership. They have been very proactive in guiding our team to be fully certified in the Ohio Collaborative Community Policing Initiative since its inception in 2016. This community collaborative works to improve and enhance the vital relationship between law enforcement and the communities they are sworn to serve. Our PD has been certified in 3 different groups of training on standards of conduct, which include bias-free policing, investigation of employee misconduct, use of force, body-worn cameras, recruitment and hiring, and community engagement. They have also recently gone through a recertification of these standards. Worcester is blessed to have such a talented and trained police force. But not to be outdone in our safety service world, serving our community, our fire and EMS services are second to none. This highly talented group of 40 plus professionals are ready to react on a second's notice to any and all emergencies in our city where someone's life or health are in jeopardy. This was truly put to the test in 2020 due to the COVID virus and its unknown ways of transmission and deadly or potential deadly outcomes. The chances of our team coming in contact with somebody having the virus was a daily occurrence during parts of the year. But due to the protection and sanitizing protocol that Chief Barry Saley and Assistant Chief Nathan Murphy and their team put into place, I'm happy to report that to our knowledge, not one of our firefighter EMS team members contracted the virus from their work at Worcester's Fire Department. Here is a picture of one of the vaccination points that was through the Wayne County Health Department, but was organized and manned in part by Barry Saley and the Worcester Fire Department. Congratulations and thank you, fire team. Worcester keeps improving. Here are some pictures of Worcester's utilities, water, wastewater, and the piping that goes with them. 2020 brought the painting of both clear well tanks outside our water production plant along, which is up in the right-hand corner, along with painting and refurbishing mechanicals on our 2 clarifiers inside the plant, and that's in the top left-hand corner. The bottom picture shows our wastewater plant where we have been working on our cogen engine and system. It's in the building to the right of the black, 3 black bubbles there in that picture. And started construction of our big sludge tank seen at the back of this picture and will in a later presentation. So way in the back, you can just see the big structure, that's the sludge tank. These, along with the water line replacements on Holmes Boulevard and Caldwell Circle, Lincoln, Washington, McKinley, and West Henry Streets, made up the bulk of our utility improvements last year. And from paving roads, chip sealing alleys, maintaining parks in the downtown, picking up leaves, plowing snow, restocking trout in the Little Apple Creek Stream in Grosjean Park, to putting up the Christmas tree in the square, and everything in between. Our public property maintenance, our for short PPM team, led by Kurt Denning and company, do an outstanding job for Worcester. This small but mighty band of fixers tackle any and every kind of problem, upkeep, and repair our city faces on a daily basis. This is the 20 plus member team that you like to see show up because they are going to fix, improve, and make better things in our community. Thank you, PPM crew. We continued with projects we had planned for our city. Paving started on April 20th and included the main streets of Quimby, Milltown, Highland, and North Streets. We reconstructed Sunset Lane and Highland Avenue and built sidewalks on Sunset, Armstrong, and Highland Park roads. Freelander Chalet was getting the final touches of its facelift. The outside of the building was painted and a new roof is in the process of getting installed. 2020 was a tough year to showcase our newly renovated chalet because of the COVID protocols placed on gatherings. There is definitely interest in using the facility by the bookings we were seeing. Welcome 2021. Hopefully it will be put to a good use for our city. The recreation world was hit harder by the pandemic than most of our city divisions because it deals with quality of life aspects which people use. Our community center fell under the senior care virus guidelines from the state, so it was unable to open much of the year. We kept the staff focused on other ways to maintain services to our community. So now on to some of the highlights of the past year. 2020 was the year for the 10-year census count. This is a very important count upon which large amounts of funding for programs such as SNAP, Medicare Part B, highway programs, school lunch and breakfast programs, Section 8 housing, Head Start, and CDBG grants, and many others, and also our voting representation at the federal and state levels in the houses, and our local city ward makeup are all established. A low census count could hurt a community for the next 10 years. We are still waiting on the results, which we thought would be out sometime this spring, but found out today that things will be delayed due to COVID until this fall. 2020 was also our Decennial charter review year. This group of 11 people spent months going through our city charter, which started out in person, but evolved into Zoom meetings to finish the process. City Council and the voters approved of their recommendations. We are now operating under our revised and updated charter for the next 10 years. Thank you to this dedicated volunteer group. As mentioned earlier, to me, this purchase of developmental land was the most positive, impactful thing to happen to our city in 2020. This allows the city to have planned growth in the business sector, which create jobs for our citizens. This 150-acre property is adjacent to the largest of our city's business parks and should provide approximately 8+ years of new or retained business growth for Worcester. This, along with a very strong economy in the first quarter of 2020, are part of the ecstasy portion of last year that I mentioned in my opening slide. And this thing called the COVID-19 virus and the protocols we have all learned to live with over the last 10+ months is the agony piece of 2020. This life-changing virus was first recognized in Worcester on March 11th in 2020 at a town hall meeting called by the medical team at Worcester Community Hospital to inform our community about the impending spread. 21 days later, on April 1st, Bill Sharon, the CEO of Worcester Community Hospital, sent notice to the board. It appears the virus has finally arrived. We have 2 patients who tested positive in the hospital, one of whom is in the ICU. We also have a patient in the ER that we strongly suspect may be positive. So, started the journey that we're still on. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Numbers of COVID cases have been falling and vaccine shots are happening. I just learned this afternoon that we are down to 2 COVID cases in the hospital today, and the positive COVID testing is dropping also. Great news for that. Here are some numbers showing how the virus has affected Wayne County and Worcester since the start. We had 7,521 COVID cases in the county, 179 tragic deaths, and 357 hospitalizations. 6,653 or 88.5% of the cases are presumed recovered. We overall have weathered this storm much better than what you see on the nightly news programs, but friends and family have been lost or harmed from this pandemic. Also, our businesses, restaurants, family and friend gatherings, etc., have all suffered and will take some time to get normal again. Therefore, the agony of 2020. But here's the rest of the story of the past year. We banded together as citizens of our city, state, and country and figured out how to move forward, which we did. The rest of the slides are pictures of how that happened in Worcester. This slide is a picture of our city's first of many Zoom city council meetings. They have actually gone well and better than expected. We all do look forward to getting back to in-person meetings though. Our city and hospital and the services we provide never faltered, and people quickly realized that they could depend on our teams. Economic development projects move forward. Here's a recent picture of Certified Angus Beef's newest building on Riffle Road. This will be the printing office and warehousing facility for their operation. Worcester City Schools levy did pass by 222 votes. This allows our city school to keep moving forward. This is a very important component in economic development for our city and to the growth of our children. Congratulations and go Woo. City pools opened. We weren't sure this was going to happen, but the diligence of our team made it so. We were only allowed under the governor's rulings to open Freelander Pool and Knightsfield Spray Park due to spacing requirements. But it worked well due to the efforts of our city rec team and the YMCA. For your information, Worcester pools were one of only a few municipal pools in Ohio to open last summer. 75% remained closed due to the COVID virus. This allowed some normalcy for our residents and was pulled off without a hitch. Nice job to our crew. This is the living room project at Worcester Salvation Army Shelter, which opened in October of 2020. This came about from the efforts of the Salvation Army and 180 and the support of the city and county. It provides a daytime shelter for people with no place to go and has helped the city with this group. Thanks go to Salvation Army Majors Madeline and Harry Dwyer and Tim and Connie Higgins, and 180 Executive Director Bobby Douglas and Special Projects Coordinator Krista Kidney and the Housing Coalition, who made this possible. On June 30th of 2020, our amazing hospital was recognized for the 6th time as one of the top 100 hospitals in our country by IBM Watson Health. Not only were we recognized in this esteemed group of 100, the rankings are broken into 5 categories. Worcester Community Hospital is in the medium community hospital ranks and was shown as the #1 hospital in the medium ranking. After being involved with the hospital now for the last 23 years, I've come to understand good ranking agencies, and the IBM Watson Health is a very respected group who gives you the ranking based on public metrics alone. Our hospital has been essential in dealing with the COVID virus, and we are thankful that they and all the healthcare workers and first responders are a part of our city. Congratulations, Worcester Community Hospital. The Wayne County Commissioners elected to form a land bank for our county. We at the city are very pleased and supportive of this action. This will help us move properties that are underwater, meaning they owe more for the building and property than they are worth, and can't pay their taxes, utilities, or upkeep and become a blight on our city. This allows the land bank group to waive tax liens on delinquent properties, letting the property to be sold and have a value again, getting it back to a useful purpose. This is a positive step forward for everyone. Thank you, commissioners. DORA is an acronym for Designated Outdoor Refreshment Area. It was a novel way to help our downtown restaurants through the pandemic and a great way to showcase our downtown to visitors and citizens alike. This has been a resounding success from everything we are hearing. The downtown restaurant and pub owners, along with the Chamber of Commerce, Main Street, and the city all work together to make this happen. Great story during the agony part of 2020. This is the latest addition to our housing stock and perfect redevelopment project for the old Horn Nursing Home site. Thank you, Weaver Custom Homes and Ray and Associates, for buying this property and putting together such a nice development on the north side of our square. Another win story for everyone involved. 2/3 of our square streetscape project are done. Final third happening this year. Nice new public space to enjoy with a Dora beverage on a nice summer evening. We are very pleased with the results, and because of the COVID restriction, construction on this project was less bothersome to the surrounding property owners. Another unexpected positive during our COVID agony. Highland Reconstruction. Highland Avenue from Tatum Lane to Oak Hill Road. Nice improvement for this busy section of roadway. Glad to have sidewalks to enjoy too. This opened to the public just before Thanksgiving in 2020. This is another major reconstruction street project that was accomplished in 2020 in our city. This street was an old chip and seal street with ditches on both sides. This is a great improvement for traffic in this neighborhood and for Melrose School. In conjunction with the Sunset Lane rebuild of the street, a Safe Routes to School grant helped to provide funding for the sidewalks on Sunset Lane, Armstrong Drive, and Highland Park Road. This is a true benefit to Melrose Elementary School and the students that walk there. Also a real bonus for homeowners who have sidewalks and a trail within easy distance of their property. Another success in the agony part of 2020. Not what most people get excited about, but this serves a very useful purpose for our community. This is a $2 million steel tank that will very soon be full of smelly stuff. This is the improvement to our city's wastewater treatment plant, which should cure the unpleasant smells that have drifted over parts of Worcester in the past. Plans are it will be in operation by July of this year, and the sludge lagoons will be emptied. This would be one of those times if somebody said this was full of blank, they'd be correct. Clear Creek Park on Venture Boulevard is under construction. This started in the fall with clearing of the trails and pavilion area. The weather turned bad, so the contractor had the latitude to wait till spring to get Worcester's newest park completed. This will be open to the public hopefully sometime around midsummer. Thank you to Dick and Judy Seaman and the Seaman Corporation for their generous donation to Worcester Parks. Some other notables for 2020, these are the apartments being built on State Route 585 across from Fire Station 3. Housing is needed, and this is the quickest answer. 54 new apartments about to open. They are nice, according to our city inspectors who have been monitoring the building's progress. We look forward to their opening and helping with our housing situation. A nice new facility addition to Western Reserve Insurance on Bendham Drive, east of State Route 585. A piece of the original building is seen on the right side of the picture, with the new addition connected by an elevated walkway on the left. Congratulations to the Western Reserve Group on your beautiful new facility, and thank you for growing in our community. Here's a new facility for collision repair needs. This is Caliber, formerly Nagy's Collision, located on State Route 585 in front of the Daily Record printing facility just north of Long Road. Thank you also for growing in Worcester. Westview Healthy Living continues moving forward with the growth of their skilled nursing facility and event center off of Mechanicsburg Road. It is a very nice and needed facility for our community and also provides housing for another sector of our society. Thank you for growing these essential assets for our city. A new building for Keith Erickson and Krupp Moving and Storage. This is just southwest of Old Airport Road on State Route 585. They utilized an enterprise zone agreement to make it possible to expand in our community. Best of luck, gentlemen. And finally, the newest creation at the OARDC, Ohio State University's new science building on their Worcester campus. This is now open and in business. This will house OSU's science department with classrooms, lab space, and the bug zoo, along with an on-site cafe. I understand that undergrad, master, and doctoral studies will take place here and is a great addition to our OSU campus. Congratulations, and thank you for investing in our city. All in all, not bad for the agony part of 2020, but we will still celebrate when life gets back to normal. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for giving me the time to really celebrate who we are and what we have accomplished in our city. And I will take any questions that the council might have.
I have a quick question, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your very informative and interesting presentation. One of your very first slides addressed the streetscape on the southwest quadrant. And I am just curious what the purple square in that illustration is. Is that where the cannon sits, or is that something different?
The purple square, I think, is where the cannon sits. Okay. And then the statue is the white square beside it. So I think you're right in that.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Any other thoughts or comments?
Mayor, if I may. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Excellent job. A lot of positive things going on in Worcester. We have a lot to be proud of. We have a lot to be thankful for. As you said, we are a blessed community. And I just wanted to thank you for putting all of that together. A couple of questions. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but the land bank that we can thank our county commissioners for, just by my driving around Worcester, it looks like we may have used some of that capability already, because there were a few properties that I know were underwater and it looks like they've moved forward with new ownership. Is that true?
I believe that we've used, I'm sure we've used at least 2 properties and maybe a third. There are others that are available to bring forward to the land bank, but they are sort of pacing. Andrew Dutton is our city rep to the land bank, and Joel Montgomery has been fully involved. So Joel, if you have any comments or want to weigh in on anything, you're welcome to do so.
That's great news, and I can follow up with them at a later time. One more question just for the public who might be watching. Is the bug zoo open to the public at the OSU campus?
I believe it is. I know that is their intent. I don't know if they're going to have actual hours to go, but okay. It should be a real fun thing for kids and adults alike. So
Indeed,
yeah,
indeed.
Sure, they'll have some exciting creatures to hold.
Yes, indeed. Thank you again, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I too would like to thank you for the presentation, Mayor. Very, very nice. And again, lots of positives. Very, very, very good. I would take exception to let you know that I too am very excited about the sludge tank becoming operational in July of the year. So,
well, good. I'm glad there are a few of us out there. Absolutely. No.
Yeah.
It's going to help. It sure will. Bill, I don't know if you're muted right now. It looks like you're trying to say something.
There we go. Thank you. Just a quick question concerning the sludge tank. Now that the lagoons, were we able to get an EPA waiver that we could still, on an emergency situation, use the lagoons, or are they out for good now? I know at one point where there was some discussion on that.
We are planning on emptying them and getting them clean of the sludge. We would like to hold them in reserve, just as you say, for emergency type of purposes. I don't know anything on the request if it's even been made at this point, since we're still waiting to get the tank full or finished and then full. So again, Joel probably would have a latest and greatest on timing on that, but
Okay, I'll follow up with Joel sometime. Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Anything else? If not, President Beitendijk, I will turn it back to you. I think we've got about 10 minutes before council starts, and so people can do what you would have them do during that 10-minute time.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for giving us mainly the highlights, and it is a remarkable journey that the city had despite the viral dystopia, and I think it speaks well of the economic policies and the wisdom to embrace a wide variety of workplaces, manufacturers, and hopefully that the synergy that even continued during what I call the microbial zombie apocalypse that was going on in 2020 continues in 2021. So thanks for the recap, and look forward to doing this again next year.
There you go. I always do, that's for sure.
Nice job, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. That's very kind. So
we'll meet in approximately 8 minutes. I assume we need to leave and then go back into the meeting for council meeting that's scheduled.
Yeah. I will be ending the meeting and starting the other one almost immediately.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. And thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
all.